On the road to MotoGP, this is FAB-Racing.
That is Marco Holt sitting there on the number 9 bike with that Minion helmet, that very recognisable Minion helmet at the front. Of course, he was a runner-up vice champion, so to speak, in the 50s last season. He's got to be one of the favourites. We see there a big crowd forming up there, up the top of the balcony at the circuit, and underneath them as well, a lot of riders watching along from the pit lane as we get going on our way for the first round, the formation lap of the Mini GP50s Championship. It's Marco Holt, your vice champion from last year, who starts from the pole position. Luke Fitchett starts alongside him with Archie O'BRIEN, who won 2 championships last year, starting on P3. He'll be definitely one to watch as comes to this race. Bill Harris is P4, Finley POLHILL P5, Aeziah DIVINE is P6, and Frankie WATSON is P7. Then it's Harley BAKER in P8. And then rounding out the grid, Bailey Lawrence, who in theory should be on Marco Holt's bike, but I haven't seen Marco Holt's bike out there, so I'm really not quite sure what's going on in terms of that. But yeah, there's been a bit of a bike mix-up. No one's really quite sure, but it is, it's in theory Bailey Lawrence. But let's see what happens really as we head out there. Now there is Bailey Lawrence on the 09. Marco Holt's on the 9. That is very, very confusing. So try and keep track as the grid forms up. But here we go then. Mini GP. You ready, Lewis?
Yeah, I certainly am. We're just waiting for the grid to line up here. Marco Holt has shown great pace all weekend. As we look at the back of the grid for 114, hardly be able to stand on that Mini GP as the lights wait for the lights go out and away we go. And as we see, Luke Fitcher gets off to a great start with. Sorry about that. While we wait for them to come round to the next section, Marco Holt leads the way in the 9 bike that is still registered as 58 on the timing screens as we head round to start the first lap with the 7 of Luke Fitcher just behind, wanting to keep the pace up, wanting to look up the inside and try and pass Marco Holt.
Indeed, I believe that's another. So we've got the 9, we've got the 7 of we've got another 7. So Luke Fitchett now into the lead. Marco Holt, I'm not sure Arsenal's having a bit of a moment, I think, because it's Luke Fitchett. So it's Marco Holt leading on the 9, Luke Fitchett's on the 7, then it's Archie O'BRIEN in second. So Marco Holt, I think, might be having a transponder issue because he is not showing up on our timing screens. So we'll have to see what happens there. But on the road, it is Marco Holt from Luke Fitchett from Archie O'BRIEN in P8 now. Of course, Archie O'BRIEN, I know he's not done that much time on the bike. He was a double champion last year in the AC40 Pros and the LT40 Elites. It was really quite spectacular. He was so good, he got himself signed up to the MLAV Vision Track Academy. As a result, he's managed to find his way on there alongside other riders in many other series, such as the British Talent Cup, and joins a whole host of FAB riders seemingly on that academy. But I know he's not done much work on the bike. I know they've been having a few problems here and there with the bike. I know he spent a lot of time on the 70s bike, which is not participating in that race this weekend. So he's currently just trying to get his best out, but he has just set the fastest lap of the race. But it's still Marco Holt leading on that number 9. Luke Fitchett, though, giving it what for behind him. Very, very close. And these are so fast, these bikes. I mean, these things, they are essentially Grand Prix bikes. They are mini Grand Prix bikes. That's why the name says that. They are so fast. Even these 50s, which aren't turned up to the maximum, they are ridiculously quick through this back section. And there is Luke Fitchett trying to be ridiculously quick up the inside into the final corner on the brakes. Does he make a squeeze? No! Holt slams the door shut with a very nice defensive manoeuvre there, but Fitchett's got a lot of pace on board that 7 machine. He's putting the pressure on Marco Holt, who now is appearing on the timing screens. And Luke Fitchett seems to have all the cards close to his chest at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly is. Luke Fitcher is just learning where Marco Holt is weaker than him, so he can try and get past. Marco Holt's at the fastest lap last time round, but there was nothing in it with less than 10,000ths of a second between first and second. As we wait to come round for where he made the opportunity to overtake last time round, will he make another move or will he just stay by? He's looking at it.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, but Marco Holt again A little bit wiser this time to the move. He pulls to the inside of the track. Luke Fitchett again looking to turn one. He's willing to compromise his line into turn one to try and put the pressure on Mark Holt, which, you know, again, I mean, I'm just a lowly commentator. What do I know? But if I'd be following through this to try and get a run into that second chicane. But, you know, Luke Fitch out there, he's the one with the pace at the moment. Fastest lap of the race there at 44.256. Action further back in the pack as well. And again, Luke Fitchett all over Marco Holt's tail, and all while this is happening, Archie O'Brien sitting there thinking, go on, crash into each other or just slow each other up or give me an opportunity or something, because he is holding on to this pack. And Luke Fitchett is now going to the outside. Marco Holt's on the inside. Who's later on the brakes? It's again Marco Holt, but Luke Fitchett should get the switchback manoeuvre. As we look further back as well, we can see Bailey Lawrence and Harley Baker swapping places further down the pack as they this group at the back of the grid fighting each other, trying to get these last positions. Of course, again, quite a small grid here today, unfortunately, in the Mini GP50s. It's again a grid that greatly fluctuates over the season. It's just, can riders make it? Do they want to make it? Again, the weather forecast for this weekend was pretty miserable, and well, it seems like the motorsport gods have been smiling on us today with the sun out and the temperature seemingly rising. And once again, Luke Fitchett to the inside of Marco Holt and getting through Marco Holt this time into the final corner. Great move, Luke Fitchett to the lead. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, what an amazing move there by Luke Fitchett, setting the fastest lap of the race. The only person in this whole race that's been in the 43 seconds by setting a 43.8. Luke Fitchett sat there behind Marco Holt and just looked to see where Marco Holt was weaker and just hugged all the cards to his chest. And now Marco Holt has no information on where he's going to be faster than Luke Fitchett to try and make this move back.
Well, it really seems that the bike's really come to Luke Fitchett now. Of course, starting on cold tyres, cold brakes. We say it's warm, but it's really not that warm out there. And track temperature is going to be quite low. The bike, it's going to be cold out there. And it seems that Luke Fitchett, lap after lap after lap, again another fastest lap, 8/10 faster that time around, a 1:43.2. That was a second. No, it wasn't a second. It was a 10th faster than Marco Holt. Marco Holt's now seemingly following Luke Fitchett and learning some lines, but now the bike is clearly just coming to Luke Fitchett. Fitchett is so comfortable going through some lap traffic as well, just diving on the inside, not a care in the world. But Marco Holt pushing very hard. This race isn't quite done yet.
No, it certainly isn't. The lap traffic just doing exactly what they're meant to be doing, sticking to their own line, letting the leaders get past them. As we see Marco Holt just looking up the inside slightly there, taking a far tighter line going into his final corner of the race. On the previous lap, Marco Holt was all the way to the outside of the track, as we've seen in the Pit Bike 140 race, which is something that is quite unusual to see for these Mini GP bikes.
Yeah, it is indeed. I mean, these guys, they're almost inseparable, frankly. I mean, Marco Holt, now that he's following his rival out on track, he can see, again, as I said earlier, it's textbook racing. Just follow the fast guy and learn the lines. And don't get me wrong, Marco Holt is very much a fast guy. But, it seems that Luke Fitchett's got the pace today. But now that he's following Luke Fitchett, he can see where he's going, see what he needs to do. And now he's really turned the wick up. And will be the penultimate lap. This time by as they come to the final corner. And then Marco Holt, well, he really needs to start thinking about getting the move done, because he's going to start running out of time soon enough. Don't get me wrong, Luke Fitchett has been incredible, but Marco Holt, again, vice champion last year. You'd be thinking this year he should be challenging for that championship and coming away with it, and he wants to get his season kicked off in the best way possible.
Yeah, it certainly does. This race does seem to be a game of a cat and mouse, though, with riders, with Luke Fitchett just getting past Marco Holt, just trying to get that back that he's been trying to do. Archie O'Brien here on our screen in 91 bike, who had a successful season last year by winning 2 championships in both the AC40 Pros and the LC40 Elites, and is known for wearing the iconic Spider-Man helmet.
Exactly, Spider-Man himself. When we say it's successful, that's really an understatement. He dominated both of those championships last season. Again, not a lot of time on this bike over the off-season, so a bit of a steep learning curve. Last lap flag is out, and there are your leaders. Fitchett pulled slightly away from Holt this time by, but again, it's all down into that last corner when it's going to happen, I think, if Holt does go for it. And well, he's got to try, surely. Coming into that final fast section, it's flat out from here to the end of the lap. Here we go, FITCHETT trying to maintain. I'm not sure if HOLT's close enough, but he's looking a lot smoother, a lot tighter. Look how low HOLT gets there. He really gets low to the ground, but he's not going to be close enough. Going to the final corner, the first Mini GP50s race of the season. It's going the way of Luke FITCHETT. He crosses the line after a very, very decent ride. Lots of hard work being put in there to get past Marco HOLT and take the lead, and then asserts himself with a half a second gap. Marco HOLT did finish to come up in second. Archie O'BRIEN rounds out the podium as well with a very nice and comfortable ride, and what it was essentially just a testing session to get used to the bike on the circuit. There we go. Respect between the two opponents there. FITCHETT and Marco HOLT sharing a fist bump. Obviously, probably a brief exchange of nice racing, mate, there as well, because Marco HOLT, while it wasn't his day today, it wasn't his race, he is another rider who's very, very respectful out on the track. He recognises, when he's been beaten. He's very understanding when it's not his day, and he recognises talent. He recognises the pace of other riders, and that is a great virtue of that young man. And again, that's another thing we see here at FAB as well. It's just the sheer respect that you see between racers. It's often you get in a lot of championships. A lot of times, young drivers, young riders, they really struggle with defeat. It's something I struggle with. I don't even race, but I just struggle. At work, at school, when I'm upset about not doing so well. And these guys, they had a tough race. He comes to a second, shares a fist bump. That's great respect. It's great to see.
Yeah, it really is. And although he gave the fist bump, Marco HOLT will spend all night replaying this race to think where he could have gone faster, where he can make a move on Luke FITCHETT. But it was an absolute masterclass by Luke FITCHETT that time out. Just sat there until he knew where he could make the pass and pulled the pin and disappeared.
Of course, this is widely considered as the stepping stone into the Honda British Talent Cup, and these are these MetroKit Mini GP50s. They're not slow, despite the fact that they're the junior of the two Mini GP classes. They can still hit 80 miles an hour at full pace. I'm not sure they'll be quite hitting that down the back stretch, but they do carry a lot of pace, especially into turn one, was something we noticed. It is really, really fast into there, and again, you can't quite see, but just to the right of your screen there, you can see a bit of a crowd forming here. Lots of the other riders, parents, marshals lining up to watch. And as we get ready for the lights, a couple of riders out of position, just being wheeled back into place. And we're all getting ready. There is Leia, the marshal, just waiting, standing in the middle. She'll point to the lights, and then of course the classic lights procedure that we all know, we all love here at FAB-Racing. It's lights on, lights off. We're underway here for the GP50s. Bit of a wheelie at the back, one of the riders, but it's Marco HOLT who's going to take the lead, but Luke FITCHETT off the line. Great reaction, but a lead. It's Marco HOLT. No, it's not. It's Luke FITCHETT takes the lead from second on the grid. So it's FITCHETT from HOLT. I believe that's Bill Harris who's managed to get through into a P3, unless I'm mistaken. So a great start there from Bill Harris. That's a great stuff there. The number 14, that's Bill Harris. He's managed to jump Archie O'BRIEN. Archie O'BRIEN into fifth. So not the best stuff for him either. We're wanting a little bit better than that, but we're underway for race 2 of the Mini GP50s, and it is Luke FITCHETT that leads the way from Marco HOLT. Bill Harris in third, and that's at the number 90 of Aeziah DIVINE in fourth. So great stuff from him, and Marco HOLT there getting challenged. Oh, not Marco HOLT. What's his name? Archie O'BRIEN. That's the one. Getting challenged by Aeziah DIVINE there, coming into the final corner, and not the best start for Archie O'BRIEN, but for Luke FITCHETT, that was perfect.
Yeah, it certainly was. Luke FITCHETT's just going to be wanting to repeat what happened yesterday where he won, but it was a very close battle yesterday with just less than a second separating the top two, so certainly Marco HOLT is going to stay there and try and add on pressure.
Yeah, he certainly is, and look at Marco HOLT sticking with Luke FITCHETT around that massive back section. Of course, no infield section for the big bikes, the GPs, the pit bikes, the extremes, the moto teams. It is just flat out coming from those sweepers into the final corner. It is a hugely fast section. Luke FITCHETT leading the way. Marco HOLT running P2. Luke FITCHETT there, fastest lap of the race, 43.730. A great lap there from him. But of course, important to remember, lap record round here for the 50s at 43.4. The 50s have been the class that we've seen closest to the lap record around here. Of course, that lap record set back in 2019 by Josh Bannister. That's going back a fair few years into FAB history. Everyone else has been, maybe a second or so off the lap record, but the 50s, they've been very, very close. The track evolution, I am wondering, Lewis, come the end of the day, when it heats up, if they might be challenging Mr. Bannister for that lap record.
Yeah, they certainly might, just as the track gets more rubbered in, the temperatures go up. As we see on screen, the iconic Spider-Man helmet O'BRIEN, the double champion last year in 2 classes, being the AC40 Pros and the LC40 Elites. He had a successful season last year, and he's hoping for another good year this year.
Exactly, of course, Archie dominated those 2 Minimoto categories last year. Hasn't spent much time on this bike in the off-season getting used to it, so it might be a bit of what seems like an off weekend if going from his form. Of course, HOLT and FITCHETT, 2 formidable opponents. They've been here before. They've got the experience on the bike. Archie O'BRIEN, he's not spent a lot of time on that 50 bike in the off-season. Spent most of it on the 70s, but he also had a very busy off-season, of course, getting signed up to the MLab Vision Track Academy. Of course, the academy for the Vision Track racing team up in Moto 3. That's Michael Lafferty's team. So he's done very well for himself there.
And I just want to point out, Luke FITCHETT, I believe, has just broken the lap record for the Mini GP50s.
He has. There we go. So a new lap record being set. Luke FITCHETT of 43.325. So Luke FITCHETT, we were talking about this afternoon. It's happened this morning. There you go, Luke FITCHETT. Congratulations, you're a lap record holder in FAB-Racing. I mean, Archie O'BRIEN's already got a lap record here over in the Junior AC40 Pros, but Luke FITCHETT, wow, that's a phenomenal achievement for him, so congratulations. That is the lap record.
Yeah, that was great from him. Marco HOLT as well under the lap record, so it's just showing
he's got even faster.
Hard. And he's 43 flat now from Luke FITCHETT. This is an incredible pace.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Another 3/10 faster. He is streaking away 1.2 seconds to the gap. Luke FITCHETT in his absolute element at the moment. He is flying along in the lead. Another lap record, and he's just going to keep getting faster and faster. As the bike, it's just going to carry him coming to him across this race. The tyres going to get warmer. Brake's going to get warmer. He looks so comfortable out there, doesn't he? Just look at him through the corner. So smooth, so effortless as he flows through. And now it's all about, how fast can he go? He's just pushing himself, having a good time. He's got the lead of this race in the palm of his hand, and he's loving every single second of it. Coming to the line now, does he set another one this time? Bye. He does. It's a 42.9. Luke FITCHETT for the first time in FAB-Racing history, a Mini GP50 into the 42s at Lydd. Unbelievable pace.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible to see. Luke FITCHETT, you can just see how much confidence he has in his motorcycle. He's smooth, he's clean, and he's just doing this effortlessly. The gap up now to 2 seconds over Marco as he sees getting in some lap traffic.
I don't think he'll be getting it this time. Coming through that lap traffic. So maybe just a bit of a breather for Luke FITCHETT, but into the 42s. Wow, absolutely flying is Luke FITCHETT. Marco now coming up to that lap traffic as well. Got a bit of a battle further behind. That's Bailey Lawrence, Frankie WATSON as well getting involved. I think Finley POLHILL's in there as well. So yeah, that lap was a 44 for Luke FITCHETT. So lap traffic really getting in the way. And now Marco having to negotiate it as well. So yeah, Bailey Lawrence, Harley BAKER, Frankie WATSON battling for P7 at the moment, of course. Bailey Lawrence on that number 09 pink and purple bike as she gets passed by Marco HOLT on that red number 9 bike. But of course, it's got that very memorable minion helmet, hasn't it? And of course, it's great to see these riders battling further back in the pack as well. Even away from the front runners, these guys are still super competitive and giving it that absolute all, no matter what. And as they come out into the final section, into the last corner, Luke FITCHETT again, a little bit off the pace that time. So I'm wondering if he's maybe starting to run out of tyres. Take it easy. You've still got some traffic, 4 laps to go here as we head round into the opening section. And you can tell it's very, very close for this battle for 7th. Bailey Lawrence holding on for the time being. A little bit of a mistake from Harley BAKER as he comes into chicane. So Harley BAKER super fast into the corners, was just struggling with the exit speeds a little bit. So that could open the door for Frankie WATSON. More lap traffic going through.
Yeah, certainly. As we see, he's just trying to setting up a back marker there. But it's great to see battles all the way down the field. There's no one in this race that is slow. Everyone is learning every single lap in these smaller in this Mini GP50 class. As we see, they're still trying to make their way through what looks to be Bailey Lawrence. But with just 3 laps to go, it looks like we have an incredible race in our hand, and with Luke FITCHETT still just controlling the lead now, it looks to be with a 3.1 second gap. It's great battles so far with Harris, as you can see on your screen, in 3rd place.
Yeah, exactly. The battle for 3rd place, Archie Harris and Archie O'BRIEN. Archie opened the season with a podium yesterday, P3, of course. Knowing Archie, he would have been disappointed if it's not a win. He's upset. Well, not upset, but he knows he can do better. Again, he, of course, not a lot of time on the bike over the winter for Archie. And then, you know, against these experienced riders in Luke FITCHETT, Marco Holt, Bill Harris, they've all been in the 50s on these GP style bikes. Well, this is Archie's second race in them, so, you know, he's got to get used to it, of course. But, you know, I'm sure it won't be long before we're seeing, you know, the Archie O'BRIEN that we all know, we all love, back on form. But now he's having a great little battle with Bill Harris, another very, very talented rider out. And as I was saying earlier, before Luke FITCHETT went and broke the lap record, Archie O'BRIEN, he's had a very busy off-season, of course, getting himself signed up to that Vision Track Academy. You know, that's a monumental achievement for him, you know, to be, you know, on such a prestigious academy at such a young age as well. You know, he's only just got onto Grand Prix bikes and he's already been signed up.
Yeah, Michael Average is doing a great job at Vision Track. He's spotting the greatest talents that we have here at FAB, and the objective is to get them to the top ranks of motorsport and motorcycle racing. It's great to see what he's doing with these younger riders. And so we go into the last lap now with Luke FITCHETT still leading by 4.4 seconds. So the race is in his hands right now. He just needs to make it to the end and keep pushing. However, the battle for third place is still not over, with Archie O'BRIEN wanting this podium position, as it will be a great achievement for him in only his first weekend in this class, with, of course, the iconic Spider-Man helmet. As Luke FITCHETT makes his way out of the chicane, getting past the lap traffic, the final lap bike, as he makes his way to the final corner, Luke FITCHETT, the number 7 bike, rounds the final corner to take the race win. He'll be absolutely delighted with that. Well done, Luke FITCHETT. What a result there, as Marco Holt comes across the line in second place with 4.3 seconds back. But who's for third? Bill Harris. Oh, it was like Archie O'BRIEN got third. What a result there from Archie O'BRIEN with the iconic Spider-Man helmet. He'll be absolutely delighted with that.
Well, looks like the finishing positions are going to be exactly the same as they were in race 1 in every single position. Well, it's Luke FITCHETT, Marco Holt, Archie O'BRIEN times his overtake to the death and gets it on the line. But Luke FITCHETT there with a phenomenal ride and well, a new lap record, a 1:42.9, the first time ever that we've seen a Mini GP50 lap lead with a foot in the 42s. Unbelievable stuff from Luke FITCHETT. A great ride, and well, absolutely deserved from Mr. FITCHETT. That was brilliant stuff. Pipping Mark Holt, and again, the exact same finishing positions as we had yesterday. Obviously, a big crowd watching along here at Lydd. All of the people in the paddock watching along. You know, you've got friends, family, parents, grandparents. I've seen a few dogs running around as well. You know, it's everybody and everyone is here. We're all super excited to be back for FAB-Racing. Super excited to be back here at Lydd for the first round, the first Sunday in the first round of the opening weekend of FAB-Racing, essentially the FAB-Racing British Minibike Championship. And that was a brilliant race in the Mini GP50s. Of course, the first step onto Grand Prix style motorcycles for these young riders.
Archie O'BRIEN, for example, won 2 championships last season in the form of the AC40 Pros and the LC40 Elites.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen. Holt on that red number 9 to your inside, FITCHETT on your yellow number 9 on the outside. Of course, this is the the starting the starting point for Grand Prix bikes for young riders. The marshal points to the lights. It's red lights on, lights off. We're underway here for the final race of the Mini GP50s weekend. It's a great start from Archie O'BRIEN. Luke FITCHETT got away well, and well, it's Luke FITCHETT, and it looks like once again Mark Holt's transponder having issues according to our timing screen. Luke FITCHETT into the lead of the race. Mark Holt in second, Archie O'BRIEN down in third, and Mark Holt trying to fight back against Luke FITCHETT, but once again it's that number 7 machine streaking away at the front, I'm sure, after a great start. What can Mark Holt do in retaliation? Well, he's just going to have to sit there and settle for second again.
Marco Holt straight away, I think his plan is just to try attack Luke FITCHETT as soon as possible. As soon as Luke FITCHETT gets into his rhythm, he's so hard to look by. As you can see, Marco right on the back of him, piling the pressure to Luke FITCHETT. He's hoping that Luke FITCHETT will make a mistake, so then he can slip through and try and just destroy his rhythm.
Well, what Marco might be trying to do is try and follow Luke, which he seems to be doing quite well here. Just follow him, see what line's going. Because if you've set a lap record, you're obviously quite good round here, aren't you? You obviously know what you're doing. So maybe just trying to follow Luke, see what he can gain, and then go for the move, go for the positions, and see what you can do. P2, Luke Fitchett from Marco Holt in P2, Archie O'BRIEN in P3, Phil Harris, Aeziah DIVINE gaining positions on the first lap on Finley POLHILL up to P5. But it is Luke Fitchett that leads this race as they come down to the back stretch. Of course, this Mini GP50 bike, as I was saying, is the start of the Grand Prix racing experience for these young riders. Of course, you know, after this is the 70s and then on to the British Talent Cup. Of course, FAB is the gateway into the Honda British Talent Cup, over 60% of the field made up of FAB graduates. Of course, FAB is on Dorna's road to MotoGP. It is the official partner series of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. So, you know, lots of opportunities for these young riders, and this is just the first step into many young riders' motorcycle career.
Yeah, it certainly is. This class has produced some great racers over its time. It's such a fast class. I mean, if you come to this race weekend, if you stand at the first corner, you can see how fast these bikes are. The cameras really do not do it justice. These bikes are capable of 80 miles per hour, and they're around 60%, got around 6% more power than the Minimotos. So it's really good for these riders to step onto these machines from Minimotos, because Minimotos, they are just your twist and go motorcycles, while these teach you the basic principles of riding on bigger motorcycles, such as your gears, your clutch, and carrying corner speed, which will really help them in British Talent Cup, which is why the FAB Championship has found such great success in the British Talent Cup.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, again, you know, the first corner, I mean, obviously these are the junior of the two Mini GP championships that we run here at FAB. These are still proper. They are proper Grand Prix racing bikes. I mean, you could stick Joe Punter on them and they'd probably be scared out of their absolute mind. They are properly fast bikes. You know, again, capable of 80 miles an hour, not quite probably 80 up the back straight, but you know, it is still ridiculously fast. Lots of high acceleration, and you know, into that first turn, you said it is ludicrously quick how fast they are able to go into that part of the racetrack. Probably faster than a go-kart into there, to be honest. Bear in mind that this is a kart circuit. Fighting for P5 and 6 there. Aeziah DIVINE and Finley POLHILL. Aeziah managed to squeeze up into higher place. Well, he's done a good job so far. Last year was a bit of a learning year for Aeziah DIVINE, now looking to stake his name in the 50s Championship. Finley POLHILL, meanwhile, this is his first time on a 50s bike in the FAB-Racing Championship. Meanwhile, back to the front, and it's a Marco Holt currently with the fastest lap of the race, lapping very close lap times to Luke Fitchett's lap record. Luke Fitchett's lap record is a 42.9. Marco Holt's just set a fastest lap of the race of a 43.081. But Luke Fitchett was a 43.089. So yeah, Marco Holt is definitely following Luke Fitchett, trying to see, and they're both running very quick lap times, very close to the lap record which got set earlier today.
Yeah, it certainly is. Marco Holt has sat there, learned Luke Fitchett's lines, learned where he could go faster, and then combined it with his own lines, and it's created a monster. Really, it's made Luke Fitchett's life really hard. Marco Holt is right on the back of him with just 6 laps to go. Marco Holt's just going to wait there, see where he can pass, and hopefully pull off a move.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Marco Holt is very successful at being the hunter, you know, chasing down that first place position. That's kind of his bread and butter. It's what he's good at, it's what he's used to, is, you know, just focusing on that leader in front and just chasing them down, hunting them and getting past them for the victory. It's what he did all last season. Of course, Marco, vice champion of the 50s last year, and took it all the way to the final round at Clandal as well. And well, that's what he's trying to do here. He's learned the lines now. He's just waiting for the opportunity to arise, waiting to make the move. The pressure is on Luke Fitchett, coming up to some back markers here. Hopefully they'll be getting out of the way. Ooh, that's Bailey Lawrence there, the back marker, just having to go either side of them. And Marco Holt to the inside. No. I've been getting excited a few times there. Back marker's going either way, but in the end, it's still action stations. Luke Fitchett from Marco Holt. Archie O'BRIEN's 4.5 seconds away as it stands. So unless these guys have an incident, it looks like it's going to be Fitchett or Holt for the win. But these guys very close.
Yeah, it certainly is. Lap traffic is now starting to come into play, so it's really just a question of when Luke Fitchett and Marco Holt is going to catch them and who can get past them quicker and cleaner. Marco Holt is still just behind Luke Fitchett. Luke Fitchett potentially did a hand signal, looks like, going into the final corner now, heading onto the line with just 3 laps to go whenever we cross the line now. Luke Fitchett still in the lead, potentially making more hand signals there to Marco Holt. I don't know what that's about. And still in the low 43s.
Yeah, so lapping very quickly as it's maybe starting to heat up with 3 laps to go. Marco Holt closing in, poking a wheel, lap traffic as well. And that's interesting. So Luke FITCHETT very much dedicating himself to the inside there to try and get through the lap traffic. Was that the wrong move? I'm not sure. Marco HOLT is still behind. And Marco, he's very experienced on these bikes, as is Luke. Luke was here last season as well, and Marco poking her nose up the inside. But Luke FITCHETT closes the door. Penultimate lap, 2 to go this time by as they come into the line, and now the first corner. Marco HOLT needs to make moves soon. He's starting to run out of time. He's got the pace, but it's one thing to stay with the bike in front, it's another thing to overtake.
Yeah, you can really see that Marco HOLT's trying, especially coming out of that first chicane. Marco HOLT is pulling the bike with his whole body and all his strength to try to get the bike over to the right hand side of the tyre, with the throttle fully cracked open, trying to catch up to Luke FITCHETT as we head through the sweeping section before we go into the straight, with Marco HOLT potentially going to look up the inside like he did last lap as we approach even more lap traffic.
Yeah, more lap traffic for these leaders to negotiate as they come round. Last lap flag is out. One more tour of the circuit for these Mini GP50s this weekend. As Marco HOLT, a new lap record again for Marco HOLT of 42.841. So another lap record this weekend. This time it goes the way of Marco HOLT. Unbelievable. 42.841 for Marco HOLT. Unbelievable stuff there. But it's not over yet. We're still on the final lap of the race. They're chasing. Marco chasing now with that lap record through the back section. He's going to have one real attempt to go. It's going to be a dive bomb into the final corner. Can he make it stick, though, is the question. Following FITCHETT, weaving this way and that way, trying to break the toe. He's got the inside line. Will Marco HOLT be able to squeeze up the inside? No, he won't. It's going to be Luke FITCHETT to the line, who wins race 3 of the Mini GP50s. But Marco HOLT pushed him and pushed him hard. A 10th and a half at the line, and with the fastest lap, a new lap record in the penultimate lap to boot. But it's Luke FITCHETT who takes a clean sweep, a hat-trick of victories here at Lydd, and he can go home a happy boy.
Yeah, he certainly can. Marco HOLT will have nothing to be disappointed about, as he does walk away with the circuit as a new lap record. But in fact, Luke FITCHETT also broke the lap record on the exact same lap, with Marco HOLT just being a couple hundredths of a second faster.
So Luke FITCHETT broke his own lap record again, and about a tenth later, Marco HOLT proceeded to break that lap record. Respect there between Luke FITCHETT and Archie O'BRIEN. Archie O'BRIEN bringing it home in 3rd place once again. It looks like all 3 races we've had the same results. Actually, is that exactly the same result? I think it may be that we've had exactly the same results in all 3 races. No, we haven't. Frankie WATSON swapped places. He went up to 7 in this race.